nakuja nini, I will leave where I am, go all the way to B Center, play with her, cook, eat. You know, the mother would cook sometimes, okay, most of the times, and we would eat, and I would wash her, then she would sleep. So initially, because me and the mom, remember, we have broken up, but sasa mtoto akisha kula, akisha lala, mi natoka because atuongeleshani. So you do it over a period of time. Unaweza kusema but sasa jambo uko aje, uko sawa, then una realize kwa nyumba hakuna mwanaume mwingine mwenye ana show up. So kwa zile, oh, she never moved on. Okay, so in this familiarity, like kwa mtoto akisha lala, si tunabaki na watch movie or story, da 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 da. Now that is now when Lola was conceived. Okay, so I'm told later, hey, niaje, by then I'm pregnant. I'm like, huh? Why would we get pregnant in this dysfunctional situationship? And I remember I was told, I didn't get pregnant for you. This is for me. And I didn't ask you to be there. Da, da, da. It's a long story. If I talk about it now, bloggers will make another story online. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay. So I said, now let's try and make this work. Why? Because now there's a child. So now let's move in. I've always wanted to have a family because I was raised in a family. My mom and dad have been together all along until now. So I'm like, okay, let's try and make this work. So I said, cool. Since you're pregnant now with the second born, now let's try and replay. So we moved in together. Lola was born at Emmaus Hospital in Umo. I was in the theater room. I did not eat meat for like 6 months, man. It was ladies. Heko kwenye, you girls are strong. What I saw in that theater room traumatized me for a minute. And then Lola was born. We moved in together. We tried to make it work for about 5 years. Also, it was not that easy. And after 5 years, I up and left. I was like, okay, this will not work anymore. Also, another story was also in the very public domain. And I left and I moved on with life. And we tried to co-parent, also another messy situation, also in the public domain. Because now, personally, I always want to be in my kids' lives. And I realized another thing, that most of the time, if a relationship does not work, the kids get hurt the most because egos are normally at play. So you find the dad wants this, the mom wants this, and then there's something that the kids want. Most of the time, parents don't look at what the kids want. It's always about, mimi nataka, mimi mtoto wangu hawezi, mimi da 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 da. So that happened. It was also not a very good show. And then later in life, I met a friend. We were together for a minute. We started having a relationship. And I was very clear from the onset. I was like, listen, so I've had this and this and this. I've seen what this does. I don't want to have any more biological children at the moment. So what do? Let's do family planning. So we did family planning. I paid for it. We put a handbrake for about 5 years. So what I did not know, the handbrake was removed and somebody got pregnant and they disappeared. So I did not know. So they carried the pregnancy, they gave birth. So like 2-3 months later is when I'm understanding I have a child. And I'm like, what do you mean? I thought it's like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, just bring them. Since I already have others that are not my own anyway, bring. So now that is now how Ella was found now. So now I have 5 biological kids, and then now the other kids that I have, I've gotten some of them from TikTok, some of them from family members who did not step up, and some from Facebook. So I've just tried to summarize a bit of my story, and now this is what I'm going to talk about, raising a confident child. So these kids that I've had and the ones I'm still having now, you realized, like for example, my biological children, their confidence must have been messed up with a bit, seeing what I was going through and seeing the situations that we were going through with their mothers, with myself and everything. I remember there's one of my kids, let me not mention the name, anytime she would show up to our place. So first of all, when she would show up, she started mothering the other kids, because where she was being given the role of a mother. So she would show up when the other kids are playing, she's seated at the corner, she's just looking at them, and they're like, yo, see you play, you know, I want to make sure they're what. So you have to start reconditioning. When you look at the other ones as well, also names withheld, some of them were traumatized because of what they saw happening through the journey. So all the time they would be at my place. All the time I was a therapist. So I'm just confident words. Oh, mommy, don't worry. You had nothing to do with it. It is my fault. It is that person's fault. It has nothing to do with you. You are perfectly okay. Da, 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 da. And they got a point where my kids used to ask me, why can't my mom be like other mothers? Why can't da, 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 da? Why can't this? So all the time I was constantly doing repair. And I realized that the first step of confidence and having a confident child is you mirror. Children see. And I know anytime people always have situations or they have kids, wanasemanga, children always see. They see. Even us when you're growing up, we looked at our dad, we looked at our mom, we know who was the problem, we know who had confidence, we know who did not have confidence, we know who was a liar. Ilea, mom, va slippers ukuje tuende. Ukienda kuvaa slippers unarudi msee amesha ama ndakuletea tamu never came. So it starts with you. So for all the parents who are here, there's no way you'll want your child to be confident and you're not confident. It beats logic. Ati niaje mam, swende pale mbele, enda mbele waimbie ile wimbo yako, lakini umekaa huko nyuma. Umeenda parents day, you can't even come to the front to record your child. Your child is doing a poem, umekaa huko nyuma. Umenua techno, umezoom in na huko nyuma. Mtoya kuoni hapa mbele. Umeenda parents day, ile sports day ya shule, haukimbii, hauchezi, haufanyi nini. Wewe umevaa, umepiga luku, umebebewa mama wengine bag zao, umebebewa baba wengine bag zao, ama umeitisha kachupa kako kabia uko hapo ndani umerelax. You have to be there. Wewe ndio uko hapo, yes twende mama, let's go. It mirrors, they see what you do. Then they see how you relate with other people. From home, from family. Wewe unaingia na umeingia kwa nyumba na umenyamaza. Kama kuna issue unatuma mama nani, siwendi uangalie. Ama unatuma baba nani. Kwa chama hauongei. Kwa shule wazazi wako hapo na students wanaongea, basi wewe umenyamaza tu. If any point you get up to talk, you echo the point. I would like to echo the point that Mrs. Hauna zako. You echo the children see. And once they see, they're like, oh, mama penangi kuongea, dada penangi kuongea, hapo. Wanaanza ku maintain. So for myself, what has really worked for me with my kids, what we've been doing with them until now is rehabilitation, from my firstborn to the ones that are yet to come. They see what I do and they mirror. When they see me on TV, when they see me in events, they come to the office, they're always like, hey, Nadad, how do you manage? How do you? I'm like, yeah, this is the way it goes. And I tell them, I've been a prefect, I was a monitor, I was a chairperson, I was a team leader, I was whatever, until now they see. And I've seen it in a couple of their lives, because Leron told me the other day, he's a class monitor. So in his head, he knew if he tells me he's a class monitor from nowhere, I would love it. And I loved it and I celebrated it. Leron offered yesterday to take us to a school tour. That's not my son. He is always very chill. Leron is the guy, ata shule kulangi 3 meals a day. Ata mabeshe zake walikuwa na snitch jana anasema, you know Leron, he does not even eat lunch at home. Utakula niko poa. Nini ananga mambo. He took the persona of the mom. The mom was also like that. And yesterday Leron was like, Dad, naweza wapeleka tuteme mpaka huko juu kidogo. Nikamwambia, daddy, itakuwa tricky, but let's go. He took us to their classroom, took us to the library, took us to the dining hall, took us to the dome, took us where, and he's working with us. We come back to the parking lot, he tells me, Dad, ni lazima uende saizi ama tunaweza kaa kidogo. I'm like, okay, tukae. We sat in the car for 1 hour. We're not even saying anything particular. I'm just bragging how I'm now fire at golf than him. He's like, oh, umefika driver yako. I'm like, hey, utataka kunyorosha. Mabeshi yake wanakuja, wanatugotea and everything. But I saw something in him that was not there before. Leron Kitambo, they used to have this, sibling rivalry. Oh, mimi nataka watch TV sasa. Oh, huyu ametumia simu sana. Leron now coming back from school, Leron was even telling me, just before hii time mashule zilikuwa na chomwa, they came. So he was telling me, Dad, unajua sikuwa na understand kwa nini nilikuwa navutana sana na kina Ada. Nimerealize zilikuwa vitu za ufala. I'm looking at the guy, I'm like, hey, my man. I'm like, okay. So he's finally finally figured out. Now Liron has the confidence of setting the table in the house and clearing the table and not asking the sister, "Simi nimetoa hizi sahani mbili, si pia nyinyi sasa mpanguze meza sasa." Liron is washing plates. But where did he see it? From the dad. How you talk to your kids. Wewe ni mjinga kama mama yako wewe. Wewe ni mjinga kama wewe. Hii akili wewe umetoa akili wapi wewe? Wewe ni mjinga sana wewe. There is something my dad used to tell us when I was young. Alikuwa anatuambia tuko na akili kama kunguni. Yeah. But now you know, with our parents, back then, they never had such talks. So all of them, they're also winging it. Parenting is a thing that most of the time, many times are not you wing it. You try, because kids are different. And parents are different. Background is different. The environment is different. The school is different. The exposure is different. The level of intelligence is different. So, kitambo ulikuwa ukitukanwa, ulikuwa anafikiria utafanya vizuri. My daughter Ada, if you shout at Ada, everything shuts down. Based on the history. Remember what I told you? The runnings back and forth with the mom, There's some things she picked along the way. And I was like, okay. If you shout at Ada, if you tell Ada any negative word, your stories are how. Same as myself. If you tell me negative words, I walk away. Me on my social media, I see someone's comment, some negative, stupid things, I block you. Even if I find you in Walubengo's page, I don't even know you. Niko tu kwa comment Walubengo, niko na tu mtu ameongea tu some immature nonsense. I block that because I don't want to ever meet you. Me, I leave. I walk out of rooms when someone. So back in the day, I used to work at Nation Media Group, and I was working with this person. Let me also not mention the name. This person used to come at me daily and tell me a lot of demeaning things. And kitambo, me, I'm not very good with kuchongwana. So, total disclosure, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness. So Jehovah's Witnesses, we are taught the Bible, then we are taught to preach. So, hizo masuti ulikuwa unavaa mimi nilizivatoka nikiwa na kunok mlango, how are you? Let's talk about Jesus, you know. So confidence yangu ingine nikatoa hapo. But sasa huko unafundishwa the way to paradise. Sasa matusi hakuna. Sasa mimi na matusi, mimi hata kushout hapo, me I walk away very fast. So nikutana mse kwa mchongoano huwa sina points. Mimi ni ole wa hata wewe. So I meet this person we're working with, ako nazo hapa. Ameniambia vitu tano. So by the time inanihit umse amenichongoa, tulikuwa tushapita hiyo point. So all I can do is just giggle and laugh and look stupid at it. And then later I discovered kumdisarm, nilikuwa namwambia thank you. So ataniambia kitu namwambia thank you. It used to piss this person off. Ananitukana ameniambia namwambia thank you. Ukiniambia thank you tena wewe nini? But nimse ningeza kupiga, so of course angejaribu. Zaki pia mimi nasimama sasa. But I realized in life that it is those small things that people are saying, that people do, that they influence a lot of the way that you react. Words. Me, I've been undervalued, I've been underestimated, I've been abused, I've been insulted, I've been disrespected from childhood. So, when I get such comments now, they don't faze me. I've been told. The person who taught me how to take compliments was Burale. Burale told me thank you is a sentence. I never used to know that. Someone would tell me, hey, Obinna maze, hey, luku ni kali na yako kwanza, hey, yo yako ni noma. Hey, I would always, Burale told me, thank you is a full sentence. I never knew, because now my dad didn't condition me like that. And also my immediate environment. Mi nilikuwa nimezoea kuambiwa, you are foolish, you are this, you are that. And I think also it served a purpose, because now that is what drove me to where I am right now. Until now, I'm always just trying to prove a point. You tell me I can't do it, now I'll do it. And I'll show you how I'll do it, and I'll do it beautifully. Sometimes it works. I don't know if it's the best way to approach things, but nearly everything I've done is because people said I couldn't do it. Recently, I did Vurugu. It was a boxing match that has never happened anywhere in East and Central Africa. The highest grossing, the boxers were paid the highest and everything. And a couple of people thought it was a fluke. And they were like, yeah. Tuone akifanya tena. Nicole, What did you say? Ati? Tuone akifanya tena? Oh, okay. So the first one had 16 boxers. Now I'm having 28. And I did it. And we did it with 28 boxers, and people still didn't see the vision. And you'll still see someone say, amesema, wacha sasa nikufanyia tatu sasa ndo nikuprovie hiyo. So in my childhood, it's been constant hammering, the negative words, the disrespect, the whatever, that has also influenced where I am. I don't take alcohol. I don't use any drug. I'm as sober as they come. Why do I do this? Because I saw my uncles and I saw the words people are saying in the village. So in my village, our home was the cast home. Ilikuwa ile, hii boma hakuna mtu atatoka hapo. Hapa ni kwa walevi and jiggers. I used to have very bad jiggers when I was young. Muguzi ilikuwa zinakaa hivi. Kwanza jioni kifika, alafu upate ukuta ya ile matope, alafu upate rhythm. Kuna mtu hapa maishi kwa na jiggers? So you guys don't know what you're missing? How? Okay, let me try and explain. Ushaona ukiwa na kidonda, alafu kidonda imeanza kupona, alafu ukikuna around it, kuna kautamu fulani. Sasa kuna jigas ngapi? 3. Alafu nyumba za ushago ilikuwa nile matope na samadi na nini ya ng'ombe, wanatengeneza wall vizuri, alafu umelala hapo karibu na wall, alafu kapata fine tuning. Sasa hiyo kidole unaisuga kwa hiyo wall, kuna kautamu kengine you can explain. Yeah. So in our village, people used to say, this home nobody will. And me, I was just like, and then my dad was very focused about church, Jehovah's Witnesses and everything. So hawa kazi ni kugongea watu kwa mlango na kuuzia watu vitabu na boma yao hakuna kitu. So even in my head, I was just like, okay, now let's see. And from an early age, I was just like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong, everybody. And constantly, that's what I've always been doing. So words, they can either work towards, they can work against. But the one that I've seen with my kids are positive affirmations. Try and give your kids positive affirmations. I just told you, Ada is the light skin in our family, and she believes light skin is the best, and she says she's not black, and she's a slay queen, and she's a queen, and we take it there. There's no single day anybody will come and tell her otherwise. No, not in my house. Yes, mommy, you are beautiful as you are. And also Lola is the way she is, and so is Chantel and Rosie and every other person. You take it from there. When they do something good, compliment them. Call them beautiful names. Kama siku hizi hata ukiita mtoto sweetie, kuna wale wameta sweetie. Unaenda mtoto na jina yake tu za zote. Amelia. Sometime, mommy, sasa mom, hey, mambo dad, ukwaje, uko fiti. Like my kids have nicknames. My son is called Big Boss. I don't even know where it came from, but he's just Big Boss. He's just a big boss. He's just there. Brianna is called Brazu or Breezy. Ada, that is Laleti. She's called Damilola. So Ada just came Adobizo. Lola is Pushki, Pushkidi, Kapum Pum, Karaundi, Kasmoli. And there's just things that we do, and they just have very nice nicknames. And we give a lot of positive affirmations in my house. So that one also works magic. Especially when you know something that your kid does beautifully, you try and, I will not say blackmail. Sema, hey, sasa baba, sikale ka nimewafanya, situfanyia koka. So somehow they feel confident. Oh, kale ka dance kangu, mefikia. So it makes them feel seen. Okay? Be real. Be real. Be real. Show the struggle. Be real, show the struggle. Most people do not show their struggle to their kids. Our dads were always number one. Miss sijui kama baba yenu alikuwa anaanguka mtihani, but me, my dad was number one. And the brother that they were in the same school was also number one. Kila parent alikuwa number one. show them. Me, my kids, the difference with then and now, kids see everything on the digital space. So if you are going through something, they might see it and then they'll ask you. But me, my kids have seen me through phases with their mothers, with my situations and everything, workplace and dad, nimona wamesema hivi na hivi na hivi. They see me through it. And I'm always like, mom, this and this happened, and I'm very open with them. And when we win, I'm like, guys, we've done vurugu. They see me, the pressure before vurugu, after vurugu. I'm like, mom, we did it. Like, yeah, we celebrate. So let them see you go through it. Be very real. They can read through the fakeness, because also you can only hold it for a while. Encourage risk. Encourage your kids to take risks. Encourage your children to take risks. Remove all the expectations of perfection. So now, my kids did not perform well. I took away their phones. And I told them, if anybody improves, you get back your phone. So at the moment, Brianna has their phone, has her phone back. Lola and Ada not yet. Akina Chantel, they have their phones. Why? Because I'm like, try. But I'm like, if you fail, let's try and move. I don't want you to be perfect. Sakia tukue exceeding expectation. Wacha tutoke hapa kwa meeting, tutoke hapa kwa approaching, tufike kwa meeting. Nowadays, at least hawapatiani manamba. So, give them that space. Okay? Let them solve their own problems. This is a problem I've had with a lot of single mothers, speaking as a chairman of them. So, my baby mama's always trying to solve problems for the kids. Why are you solving their problems? Give them guidance. Then watch. No, baba, wacha nikusongeshe, wacha nikutandikie kitanda, wacha nikufungie viatu, wacha ni let them solve their own problems. Watch. Guide. No, sio hivyo. Let's nini? You see the way normally when the kids, most kids wanavanga slipper kazi imeangalia hivi ama Crocs. Wewe umetangulia kumtolea hapana. Wacha vaa hivyo, then mwambie baba, hebu angalia, iko sawa? Ebu angalia, how are you supposed to measure? Nini? Come up with a way. Let them solve their own problems. Because if you keep on clearing all the obstacles in their way, when you are not there, who's going to clear them for? When they go to school, wewe umezoea unafanya kila kitu, unambatonia nguo, unamfungia viatu, unampakia bagi ya shule, unamwekea books, unamdrombaka kwa shule, unampeleka mpaka class. So who's going to help them solve that? So try and allow them to solve their own problems. And finally, see through their eyes. Try to get to their space. What I understand, what I know, I've gained it through the mistakes that I've made. And I might have a bit of wisdom that they don't have. But there are some things that they see that I don't see. Mbona nani amesema hivyo? Mbona amebehave hivi? Mbona ame... Like Brianna does not... Brianna is very empathetic. Brianna will cry with a stranger. Brianna will laugh with a stranger. Brianna sometimes would isolate herself. She does not want to talk to anybody. So once you get yourself that space, why is she like this? Now you start seeing it better. But ikikuwa tu, my way there, hapana, si nimesema lazima tu, si nimesema. Yesterday, they asked me if they can sleep at midnight. I was just like, okay. I didn't say, oh, but you know, bedtime is... Once in a while, okay. Why? Because their friend was visiting and come for a sleepover. So I'm like, okay, that's what they want to do. So now we are having a situation about the hairstyle they're doing when they're closing schools, because they just had braids and they want to do another braids. And I'm like, see, to find lines. They're like, hatuwezi fanya line, tunataka kufanya blow dry. I'm like, but Ada, you know yourself. Wewe ukifanya blow dry size in the next 30 minutes, your blow dry imeharibika. No, Dad, I will manage. You know, Nini. I'm like, okay. So it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, we're going to do the blow dry, but for the next 1 week, muta siniombe pesa ya salon. Sawa. Sasa watu wanatembea tu kama wanafanana metu. Yeah. And then when you're listening and when you're seeing it through their eyes, most of us, we're always busy on our phones. And especially I've seen it with single mothers and mothers. Even my mom does it for the other kids that she's helping me raise. Wacha kupatia mtoto simu as a solution dia wachane na wewe. Shika. Then ona mind business yako. Ama sometimes this now is for men, for us. Huh? Okay. Oh. Alafu. Okay. That That is not active listening. And they see. Me, my kids will tell me, Dad, you're always on your phone. I'm like, So when I figure out, I'm like, okay, so I'll be on my phone. Lola nakama seme kitu nini. I'll put the phone aside. I'm like, ulikuwa unasemaje, mom? Okay. Sawa. See, let me think about it. Okay, sawa. They see that you give them the attention and you're listening. Sometimes you've already even concluded what the answer you're going to give them, but you're like, let me think about it. Senior mom, nikumbushe kesho ndakuwa nimekupea jibu. Na sasa mimi niko na solution na muendi hiyo road trip sina hiyo pesa. But these are some of the parts that worked for me, and I also like if you can add them on yours na ongeze na zingine better. Finally, stop comparing your kids. Stop comparing your kids. Mtoto wa Lubengo si mtoto wangu na si mtoto wanani pale na si mtoto wako. They are all different. Si ukue kama watoto wa. When I was growing up, my dad kept on telling me to be like my elder brother. Si ukue kama your elder brother. Why can't you behave like your elder brother? My elder brother was very silent. I was very animated, but back then they did not know that this is my gift. Mtoto, so kwa Kijaluo anasema orokni. Yani, I'm just everywhere. I'm just everywhere. Mimi niko pale tumeenda kwa church hivi mimi nataka niongea hapo mbele. Umeona watu wataka kuchukua microphone. That was me. Tumefika pale watu wana dance. Mimi nimeona nimefika pale nataka ku dance. So my dad never used to understand it. Be like your elder brother. My elder brother was very silent. But what they did not know, my elder brother was pretending. Thank you.
Wow, ladies and